So we're going to do another video today that's going to piss some people off.
Videos I like.
So what we're really going to be talking about today is a good foundation. Whether it's this building, whether it's a house, whether it's a stadium, whether it's the dealership building. Every building, whenever you build anything, the foundation is actually the most important part to make sure that everything that's sitting above the ground doesn't end up falling down or shifting or whatever.
That's right.
So the foundation of all performance mods on a Harley start with what Harley is called the stage one, which is air cleaner, tune, exhaust. That's what a stage one is: air cleaner, tune, exhaust. That is the foundation of everything you do after. What we have found is that most people, myself included, are going to be happy 99% of the time with an exceptional stage one, because an exceptional stage one is going to outperform a stage two, keep up or possibly outperform a stage three, and a lot of times keep up with the stage four. So a really good stage one, a really good foundation, is going to perform very well, and maybe you don't need to spend thousands of dollars more doing a stage 2, 3, and 4. People are just chasing power when they're doing that stage 2, 3, and 4. But if they do a good stage one, maybe they don't need to ever go beyond that.
So I understand that a good foundation is important, but what makes up a good foundation?
There's 4 things that make up a good foundation to build on. Air cleaner, talk about that a little. Exhaust, tune, and heat reduction. Those 4 things are the foundation you need before you even think about going to a stage 2, 3, or 4. And the number of people who do those 4 things right end up not going to a 2, 3, or 4 because they get all the power they want. And yeah, those people who do still go to that, but now they have a strong foundation to build their stage 2, 3, or 4 on. We just did a video on true performance air cleaners. We're going to link that above and below. But the important thing is to have a true performance air cleaner. And as you said in the video, what?
All air cleaners are not created equal.
No. 98% of the Harleys running around out there with a quote-unquote stage 1 air cleaner, no offense, but they suck. So, I mean, that might be hard to hear after you've spent the money on it, but I mean, there's a difference. They are not created equal. So watch that video. The second is exhaust. Got to have the exhaust right. Exhaust that is overly restrictive is going to rob power.
You're right. You don't want your exhaust to be too restrictive, but also some exhaust can be free flowing, but inept to reversion, which also robs performance.
Right. Reversion robs as much or more performance as a restrictive exhaust. That's why when a lot of people take off their factory exhaust and put some Vance & Hines or Rush or any of the open free-flowing exhausts on, they go, oh, I had a drop in my low-end torque, because now they're having reversion. So we're going to put a video on how to have good free-flowing exhaust without having reversion.
Yeah.
So that's number 2, a true performance air cleaner, unlike 90% of them out there. Good exhaust that's not restrictive but not suffering from reversion, because they both rob power. And the third is a good tune. Now, Sportsters and twin cams run too lean from the factory. They got to be tuned, even if you're not doing anything, even if everything's stock, else is stock. They're going to run better if you give them a tune. And now the M8's not too lean from the factory, but they'll run, as we showed in the video a couple weeks ago, they'll run a little bit better if you tune them. And here's the other thing, don't fall for the Harley Davidson tuners. The Harley Davidson tuners are EPA compliant. By definition, you cannot get a good tune out of a Harley Davidson tuner. Now, back 4 or 5 years ago, you could get the Harley Davidson tuners you could get a good tune out of,
Mm-hmm.
but then they got their 10 million or 2 million whatever dollar fine, and now all of their tuners are EPA compliant. You can't get a good tune out of them. So a true performance air cleaner, exhaust that doesn't rob power from being overly restrictive or from having reversion, a good tune, and the fourth thing is get the heat reduced down to optimum operating temperature.
And we have a whole entire video series on cooling down your motorcycle and what an optimal temperature needs to be for optimal performance.
And you can see right here what Harley says is the optimum temperature, the optimum operating temperature for Harley, which is completely different than every dealership who's going to tell you that 300, 340 is normal. And it's okay. And they're designed for that. And they test them in Arizona, run them 24 hours a day and 110 degrees in Arizona. It's all BS. Look at the manual. That's what people say with their mouths. Look at the manual, and what Harley says is the optimum operating temperature. Heat is a huge power robber. So when you get your temperature under control, true performance air cleaner, good exhaust that's not robbing power from reversion or restriction, a good tune, you are going to have a stage 1 upgrade that will do two things. It might make you go, this is plenty of power. I can only wheelie so much. I can only do this many burnouts. Or you may want to even get more power, but now you have a good foundation for it. So look at the 3 videos, True Performance Air Cleaner, Exhaust, Tuner, and then the series on getting your temperature to the optimum operating temperature, and do those things to your bike. Get those things done. It's not very expensive compared to going to stage 2, 3, and 4. And how frustrating is it to install a mediocre stage 1? You spent the $4, $5, $6, maybe even as much as $800 or $900 on your stage 1 kit, and you go, I can hardly feel any difference. So get a true stage 1 where you can really feel the difference. And then if you want more, you have a good foundation, get more.
So as Kevin mentioned previously in the video, a good foundation is key to anything. You know, you're building a house, you want a good foundation. You don't want termites. Just like you don't want exhaust reversion, you don't want obstructive airflow into your intake, and you don't want a Harley tune on your bike. And you don't want it running too hot. That is very important. Heat is the #1 power robbing condition of a Harley.
So you get those 4 things good, you're probably going to be happy with it how it is, and if you want more power, at least you now have a good foundation to build on.
That's right. If you like this video, please hit subscribe, hit that notification bell so you'll be updated when our next video comes out.
Give us a big thumbs up.
And share this video with your friends. Might help them out.
You all ride safe out there.